can't go off on my own. I'm still in day 6. Hi.
Hi, you did it. How are you?
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late. It was a rough ride. I went to the wrong
You
hotel.
do not need to be sorry. It's traffic, right?
Yes. And I went to the wrong hotel.
I love your honesty. I love that how honest you are about that.
I appreciate your love for my honesty. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You did not need to be sorry. No. Do you know how many times I've been caught in traffic or gone to the wrong spot, or you're human. That's normal.
You seem very professional. I find that hard to believe. I'm kind of a mess. You see me in my glasses with no makeup on.
Then I've got you fooled, so this is great.
Okay, perfect.
Well, it's really nice to meet you, and I'm really excited to talk to you.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is really, really great. Listen, I know so much has gone on in your life. You know, many people know you from Day6, but you just had a really big moment. You did your first live solo performance at eaJ Rising Head in the Clouds Festival at the Rose Bowl Stadium. What did that feel like?
It was phenomenal. Like, I haven't been on stage in a long, long time. It feels like almost forever because I've just been cooped up in my room. But I expected to be a lot more nervous than I was. But I think like every part of me was just wanting to get back there. I just didn't know it. So like subconsciously, I got on stage and I blinked and the set was over and I was like, no, I needed more time. And I stole some time. I stole 4 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, Sean from 88, but I did steal 4 minutes because I needed it. And I just really wanted to take in the moment because it was an amazing experience.
Yeah. Did it feel like a homecoming for you?
It did a little bit. To be honest, I've had shows in LA even, but I had a lot of North American tours, and it always felt a little burdensome because I had to perform under the alias of Day6's main guitarist, and being in a band, you can't really make mistakes, because if you make a mistake, especially being the lead guitar, the whole room just goes It's like one of those moments, you know what I mean? But like, it was my set. I wasn't really playing the guitar, and I didn't have the burden, I guess I would say, of having to be perfect so that I wouldn't let down my other members. So I kind of just got to be me, and I think that was the best part of the whole thing.
That's amazing. Well, people on here are saying the set was incredible. You talk about the burden of feeling perfect. Do you feel a lot of that pressure, and is it different now that you're on your own?
Yeah. Most definitely. I feel like I've become a very less filtered version of myself. If I was more synthetically made, so per se, my persona in K-pop, I feel a little bit more authentic now, and I feel a little bit more true to myself. Not that I wasn't genuine then, but more authentically Jay, for sure.
Right. So, I mean, has it come easily to you then to be out on your own and doing this solo project, or has that been difficult and an evolution to get there?
It's actually really funny that you mentioned that, because the whole bridge in which I crossed to get to this 88 Rising Head in the Clouds 6:30 p.m. main stage, this whole performance was just a conversation I had with myself. And after having written for Day6, I have like 60-something songs published in Korea, and that I've sold to Day6 and that I sold to other artists. And having written for references and for certain things that were always given to me, I came to the question of what do I like? And I realized that along that path, I kind of just forgot what kind of music that I liked. So I was just like, that's not normal. That's not good. You should be doing music because you're passionate about it, not because it's a paycheck or because it's something that you're just used to, right? So that sparked something called the eaJ project, in which I kind of just wrote music and just put out whatever I felt like.
Yeah. Yeah, and you did it in a different way, right? You put it out on YouTube?
Yeah, I did it on YouTube because it wasn't really a company thing. Um, and like it wasn't necessarily something that I was talking to my company too much with. It was just more of like a, let's just see what happens like between me and myself. You know, it
Wow,
was it was a
that's
it was a
big.
personal conversation I had. So yeah, that
That's
happened.
amazing.
Yeah,
Because I mean, doing something like that and not going and putting on a regular streamer, I would imagine that there would feel like a lot of pressure with that. Or was it easier for you?
I feel like it was actually a lot easier because there's no expectations for it. So
Ah,
with the streaming platform in mind, I would be very, very pressed and stressed if I didn't hit a certain amount of listens or a certain amount of album sales due to the fact that Day6 already has a track record of always hitting number one in South Korea,
right.
doing so and so on the iTunes charts,
Yeah.
like you know like 20 countries plus number one usually. So not having any of those expectations and being like I could just do whatever I want, also not having a reference of someone telling me, oh, you need to write this kind of music this time for this kind of
Right.
concept, that also was very freeing for me.
I
So
like that.
it originally started as just like a random project that ended up as something that bridged and segued me into this bigger platform, I guess, into eventually being able to perform at somewhere incredible like the Head in the Clouds.
That's amazing. I don't know what
Hello?
happened there, but it paused out. But I'm back.
Oh, sorry.
Um, in terms of artists you'd like to collab with, who would you like to collab with next?
Man, I have a lot of artists that I just really, really love. I would like to have an official collaboration with probably with Keshi. I had a unofficial one with him on my projects, but he's definitely been on my list of people that I've wanted to collaborate with just because he's so artistically like he's just so gifted.
Yeah.
Also Nikki, because she's an absolute beast on the mic, and I feel like she is one of the best vocals in my ears at least
Nice.
of our time right now. And I
Yeah.
think she's just so talented. But there's so many artists. I just can't even begin the list.
There are so many. I mean,
There
being
are.
in this industry, in your
Doggy.
industry, oh, this is Buddy. um, being in this
I love that.
industry or
Yeah,
your
sorry.
industry comes a lot
Yes.
of challenges, right? And a lot of ups and downs. And you've been really honest, which I applaud you for talking about your mental health. And
Oh, thank you.
why do you think it's so important to share that with your fans and to people who are just newly discovering you?
Because it's well, at first I felt the necessity to share the mental health aspect of my life because especially in South Korea, the idol genre is viewed as a genre in which people have to be perfect,
Yeah.
and it's exactly what it is. It's people that are idolized, right? Especially by the younger generation. And I thought it was such a flawed system because of the fact that you have to be perfect, but you're supposed to be a role model. That makes the younger generation in turn look at perfect like the 2% of the time where you're bright and shiny and filtered and just a perfect human being and
That's
think that's the norm. And
yeah.
I thought that was incredibly deceiving in itself as a concept
Yeah.
because that makes them in turn think that
They have
when
to be
they're
that.
not okay, yeah,
Yeah.
when they're
Yeah.
not perfect, when they feel a certain way, when they are not at the top of their form, that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not true. Because believe it or not, all idols are just human beings like you. So I just wanted to make that statement perfectly clear. I know a lot of people didn't like it because they feel that, they are attracted to the idols or like that culture in itself because it's an escape from reality. But I just feel like it's very mentally unhealthy to promote that kind of vision. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and it's also really not a healthy thing for you to try and uphold. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody has it all together at all times. That's just not a realistic expectation.
Yes, I'm a complete mess, and my fans will tell you. I'm very transparent about that. I am an absolute car crash. So if anyone could be the poster child of that, it's me.
Well, you know what? You wear it well because I have to say, you exude joy. You seem to me like you were in a really beautiful place right now.
I am at a very, very happy place in my life right now
Ah,
because I've gone through all the soul searching.
yeah.
I'm 29 now. I'm starting the game a little bit late in the American industry, but I feel very, very ready to go about and start my journey in America
I think it's
or on an
amazing.
international scale. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Do you have a message for anybody out there who's watching this or maybe watching it later and they're struggling and they don't know where to start and they don't know how to maybe get out of that hole? Do you have any advice?
It depends if you're coming from a mental health aspect or if they're like starting musicians, which have a
I think from a
specification for
mental
that.
health aspect, maybe.
Okay. Um, if you think of it this way, I think it's the easiest. All those people that you see on TV or that you compare yourself to, I know it's very generic to say, but I can pretty much guarantee you that they have their own struggles and their battles with their own demons. As do I. Nobody's perfect.
No.
And that's as generic as it is to say, that's just the common truth. And that I think it's the hardest truth for a lot of people to understand because everyone's the worst critic of themselves, right?
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes you should cut yourself a little bit of slack.
Ooh,
You're
I like
you're
that.
doing awesome. You got up today. If you're watching this interview, the fact that you are continually moving forward with your life in the hard situation that you're in, I think is enough to prove to yourself that you are strong enough and you have the willpower to do whatever you want to do.
I love that. So good. Listen, I don't think you're too late for any game. I think you were right on time in the timing that you needed to be because you've done all the work and you're in a wonderful place yourself. So this is
Yes.
fantastic. It's all where it needs to be.
I I wish I could full-heartedly agree. I really appreciate it, but I feel like I will be there. I will
You'll
be
be
there.
there.
I'm a harsh critic. I'm a harsh critic of myself, but I'm gonna definitely do my utmost to reach what we're talking about, that pinnacle at the top.
Well, you've got a lot of fans behind you, and these fans are strong. They're very powerful, and they can do amazing things and help you along the way. So that's a beautiful, beautiful support system that you have.
My fans are absolutely amazing. Other than the times that they make fun of me, they're great. But they make fun of me like 95% of the time, and then they support me like 5% of the time. So if we could get that to like a 9-10, I feel like that'd be better.
We could
But
work
yeah, I
on it.
love my fans.
I'll
Yeah.
work with your fans. We'll get them there. I'll be like the therapist of the group, and we've got this.
I feel like if we could just have like a council session between you, me, and my fans, and then we could just talk about all the memes that they've been putting up on Twitter, or
Okay.
the funny pictures of me tripping on stage that have been going around. We could do like some kind of intervention. I feel like I've had a couple issues with some of the pictures, so we could talk it out.
Amazing. I've got your back. I've got your back.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. Lastly, where are you taking this all? Is it going to be you solo forever? Do you think you might go back with Day6 or maybe with someone else? What do you think?
Oh, I'm still in day 6.
Mhm.
I think I always will be in day 6, to be completely honest with you. But my members are currently preoccupied with some other business that they have that they're attending to.
Yeah.
So once everyone is ready to go, I think that's when day 6 is gonna make a big splash back into the industry. But until then, I think I will be grinding out and then trying to do my part in
Yeah.
keeping day 6 relevant by making myself more relevant.
I think that's fantastic. Well, I'm glad that you got to the right hotel safely and you're here and it all worked out. We really, really appreciate this.
I'm sorry.
You're a good mess. You're a good mess. It's good. It's all good.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, don't be sorry. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to be able to interview you in person one day when we're in California again.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me, by the way.
Thank you. Okay, have a great day, everyone.
Have a good one.